What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video. And today, some more Granblue Fantasy Versus for y'all. And of course, first we gotta look at the DLC. So there was a patch last night that buffed some characters slightly and also added Djeeta and Sora's and this new stage that you have to buy, unfortunately. So I'm more interested in Djeeta, so I've been playing Djeeta all day. I've been streaming, just came from streaming. And in this video, I'm gonna break down her moves, her special moves, her supers, and just how she acts as a character. At a glance, she's pretty much Gran with more range, but slightly less safe. So looking at her normals first, we can start with the close normals. This is her close jab and her crouching jab, 5L and 2L, close L. So these are both advantageous, but the new and important thing, and the devs actually mentioned this in the patch notes, so this move is even. This is her close M. This is even. And if you know a lot about Granblue, or if you don't, Catalina and Gran both have plus unblock close M's. And some characters have close moves that are not jabs that are plus. So Fairy is another example. Fairy's close H is +3. Her having his move as even definitely sets the stage of the bounce patch that they announced for the end of the month for when they add the last DLC character. That's a pretty important part for me. And similarly too, her crouching M, her 2M. Gran's 2M right now is plus. It's +1. This one is not plus. It's bigger though. And this is kind of a theme you'll see in the character in general. Similarly, her far M is she actually really big. This move actually outranges Catalina's 2M. It's a really good whiff punish move. It's quite big, as you can see. Definite oppression session here, this move. You also have far H. This is similar to Gran's far H. Her close H is basically the same as everyone else's. 1200 damage, punish tool, frame trap tool. So her sweep is pretty interesting. Her sweep is like Gran's, but it's not as low profile as Gran's. So I could try here. Try as I will. I will not / barely low profile this. So you actually have to go and check if you're going to play her, who you can do this to, how, and at what speed. So for example, here I have Catalina. With Catalina, it's much easier to go under. You still have to practice, but it's much easier to go under. The general rule of thumb is that her sweep will definitely go under fast fireballs, but will usually not totally go under slow fireballs. What usually happens is that she'll stand up into it and get hit, unlike Gran, who goes under all of them. So next, anti-air. So her anti-air is okay. It's really big and high, but I have the feeling that you have to do it kind of early. Like, there are definitely cases, and it's been inconsistent, really inconsistent for me in my use. There are cases like, this is an amazing jump in, but I'm just smoking it pretty easily. But I've had characters like slip by it or hit me first, or maybe I reacted too slow. I don't quite know yet, but her anti-air I would say is good. Not great, good. The other thing about it is that it has a ton of recovery. A significant amount of recovery. So definitely be careful with this. The nice thing is that she does have a pretty long-reaching horizontal move in her far H. So if they jump in, do nothing, you could choose to pick this. So Djeeta's jump in. So she has a pretty standard jump in toolkit. Normals of note, I would say, is her jump U, because it hits behind like this. And her jump H, since it reaches like pretty far horizontally. Normals like this are actually pretty hard to hit. And Gran actually has a normal like this too as well. Generally your opponent will be standing here. So in a range where like JU will never reach, there are ranges where JH will reach, and this is like pretty important. So Djeeta's unique action is this Jaguar quick looking move. There are a couple of setups I think already where you can make it hit medium and B+. It goes over stuff, of course. It's not really fast. You can charge it similar to Gran and cancel it the same way. Now, once she hits like level 3, you definitely get like super fat combos with it, but I haven't actually seen that many yet. So I think this is something they're going to optimize for overall. If you're trying to use this as a reactionary move over lows, it's not going to work. You kind of got to do it early if you want it to hit, but once she's airborne, she is airborne, so it will clear things like lows, things that go across the ground, stuff like that. It's kind of hard, if not possible, for her to go over fireballs. I tried for a while. She can't get over Catalina's at all. Definitely can't get over Gran's. Need to do more testing to see if she can go over anyone's. There's like beams like Zeta's and Narmaya's, which I think she might be able to go over, but I don't know yet for sure. So next, special move. So Djeeta has a pretty standard moveset. She's a Shoto, right? So here I'm going to be looking at the differences between her and Gran pretty much. So in this case, first with Fireball, so Gran has like the normal Fireball and the medium Fireball that absorbs one hit on his slash and then he fires it. So Djeeta can actually make her Fireball multiple hits by charging it. So you can't use it like Gran like this. You have to do it early and then boom. It gets an extra hit of projectile durability. Of course, if you really need multiple hits, you can just use the EX1 as normal. Next up, her DP. So her DP is different from Gran's again, and Catalina's. Catalina's is more like straight up. Gran is kind of in between. I actually think of her DP a little bit similar to Percival. So in this example here, she could actually DP this because her DP reaches far enough horizontally. Now, of course, there are downsides to this. It came up in, for example, against Fairy because you travel so far forward. Fairy can go over you and instant overhead you, but it's just like you have to know where to apply each reversal. So her quarter circle back is not a boot or a bum or anything. It is actually these slashes. So these slashes are kind of like Gran's where they have follow-ups, right? That act as a frame trap. You don't really see this that much. It basically confirms. The nice thing is that it is safe at most ranges. The EX1 is really, really important for combos that I'll show you later. So next up, Super. So at a glance, she has the same type of Super as Gran, where she goes through like this, but she specifically can cancel the first hit. For additional damage. So there's a pretty significant damage boost. It's about 1200. I did that raw. Now, it's a little tricky to do. The game will give you the inputs. It's LLMMHHLMH214U, and that will give you the full super. I suggest going through it and getting used to the animations because there are points that are slower or faster than you might think they are. Now, another thing about this actually is that you can actually do this on block too. And stop at whatever point you want to. It's going to take a little while for people to figure out how to deal with this. This is kind of nice to have. We can actually see later how punishable it is, how good this is, whatever, if she can frame trap. But it's just a little note that she can do this on block in its entirety. So note about the super, the normal super. So one thing is, when you do the manual input, her hair turns blue. When you do the easy input, her hair does not transform, and you can't actually end the entire super. So if you're aiming for like maximum damage, definitely try to use the manual input in this case. And last we have her Awakening Super, Super Skybound art. It is definitely not like Gran's. It's actually closer to Catalina's. So the animation here, the theatric, is big, but it's not like huge. It's kind of hard to do from max range. And of course, if you block it, it can definitely be punished. So to get y'all started with combos, I'm going to show off a couple of simple mid-screen combos and simple corner combos. So for mid-screen, she's like a lot of characters where she has kind of the same stuff where you can confirm into the Rekka series. You make sure you do the follow-up though, so you actually get the knockdown, because the first two hits don't knock down. You also choose to use Fireball if you want, and that's fine. Now, one thing that she has that could come up is that her standing jab does link into sweep, like this, on standing. So you can have as an actual confirm. Obviously not a lot of damage, just a thing that's nice to know. So Djeeta is like Gran, and she gets a combo whether or not her anti-air is countered hit. So you can use EX slashes for this. Like that. Now, the closer you are to the corner, the better your conversion is, because you can continue the combo. So next, corner. So because of EXs, you definitely have some flexibility here. So I'm just going to show a couple of combo examples and then what I think is going to happen to her long term. So as a basic start, you can definitely use something like this. As a start, that's really, really simple. If you want to add a little bit more. So the last thing I want to look at as far as combos is how she cycles her cooldowns. This, I think, is going to become very prevalent as time goes on and people have more time with her. Reminder that this is pretty much the first full day that she's been out. So, as you know, when you use EX moves, you can't use them again for a little while. That's how they balance the EX moves rather than making them cost meter. But her combos are long enough and she can avoid the combo limit to actually get her moves back. So there's two ways to do this right now. One wave EX Fireball, one wave EX Rekka. I find the EX Rekka one not only to be easier, but since you always advance during the Rekka, to be more consistent in just general situations. So here's an example. So whatever safe jump you choose, you basically already have your Rekka back. You're going to have your Fireball back shortly. And then during the Fireball, of course, there's only a little bit of DP left. So definitely look into routes like this. I think it's definitely going to be a big part of her game long term. So that's it for today. That's Djeeta. I have a pretty positive impression of her. I played her for like 3.5, 4 hours today. I played a bunch of matches of her. I think she has a lot of unique and interesting tools. She seems very fun. Another Shoto option. I like the Shotos in the game. You know, I play Catalina too. But she has like a little bit of sauce, so we'll see what people end up doing. The other thing that's interesting about her is, as I said before, I feel like she is a definite template of what they are trying to do in the future, and then it kind of reinforced a sentiment that I had about Narumaya as well. Because I thought the same about Narumaya and Beelzebub. Like, these characters are like this because this is where they want to go with the game next. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments. I'm learning her too right now, so I might not know everything. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.